Hello and a warm welcome to CBA English News. We're still in the euphoria of New Year, and from this desk we say Happy New Year to you all. This is the English Bulletin. My name is Ajara Ahmed Tijani. We're reaching you from the studio of CBA, the voice of East Africa and beyond. First, the headlines. 3 people killed in a blast outside Mogadishu. A regional MP killed in Somalia. Al-Shabaab radio station bombed in airstrike. Ethiopian security forces killed at least 76 in violent unrest after musicians killing, right body says. Plus, CBATV emerged best TV station of the year the second time. Now the news in full. Saturday morning, 3 people have been confirmed dead and several others fell dead after a bomb went off a road construction site between Mogadishu and Afgoye towns. Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack.
A suspected suicide bomb hit an area along Mogadishu-Afgoye road, with initial reports indicating Turkish workers constructing the road were targeted. Sources said there were unconfirmed number of casualties in the Saturday morning attack. Reports also confirmed 3 people were killed and several others were wounded, but no official statement was yet made. Al-Shabaab claimed the responsibility for the attack. The road construction, which started in 2018 and funded by Qatar, was halted last year after a car bomb attack killing close to 90 people. 2 Turkish workers were among the dead in the December 2019 attack.
A jubilant parliamentarian killed on Friday evening in an explosion on his car. Al-Shabaab has again claimed responsibility for the attack, and this is not the first time the group killed a senior officer in the region.
Khalif Hashim Noor, who was a member of the Jubaland Regional House of Representatives, has been killed after an explosion in his car, which was believed to be from a device planted in the car. Some eyewitnesses said it was a remote-control car detonated from a far distance. The regional administration has strongly condemned the incident and affirmed they will apprehend the perpetrators. Ahmad Madobe, the regional leader, extended condolences to the family and the nation for the loss of the MP. Initial reports say the member of the parliament parked his car in the city of Kismayo. Unfortunately, his car exploded while driving on an area known as Farjano. Al-Shabaab has officially claimed the responsibility of the attack. This is not the first time Al-Shabaab has killed a senior officer in the region, but this is the first attack they carried out since the new year has begun.
An airstrike suspected to be American has destroyed a Furqan radio station belonging to Al-Shabaab militant group in Lower Shabelle region. The report says the radio station was one of the target sites of the attack, adding that the station's base was completely destroyed and all those who were inside were killed.
According to sources, the radio station, which broadcasts daily news about the attack is carried out by the Al-Shabaab against government sites, was destroyed last night after missile hit Kunya Paro town, controlled by the militants. Though no group has officially claimed the attack, but suspected to be American airstrikes. Reports say the radio station was one of the target sites of the attack, adding that the station's base was completely destroyed and all those who were inside were killed. U.S. mission in Africa, which frequently targets Al-Shabaab and its bases, has not yet commented on the latest attack. Somalia and U.S. governments have recently been carrying out airstrikes to target Al-Shabaab bases. Last week, U.S. Africa Command conducted an airstrike targeting an Al-Shabaab compound in the vicinity of Sako, southern Somalia. Al-Shabaab has shifted its attacks to hit and run tactics, also carried out deadly bomb attacks in central and south regions of Somalia.
CBATV which is the voice of East Africa and beyond, has been awarded the best TV station for the second time for its broadcast standard, professionalism and quality programming in Somali and English languages across the Horn of Africa and beyond. The award was the second in its series as the television station serving the large heterogeneous number of Somali and the international communities clinched the best TV station of the year for the second time. The acting director of the Kalam Educational and Technical Center, QETC, Ubaji Isiak Abubakar Izi, said as the only TV broadcasting in Somali and English languages, CBATV was singled out for its professionalism and content which separate it from other media houses in the region.
One particular thing makes CBA outstanding, and its uniqueness is the English language at first. CBA has continued to cater for a large growing group of audience which are not predominant Somalis. We have foreigners here, and lots of them in Boroma, in Broho, and mostly in Agesa. Most come as teachers, as technicians, and they do offer various types of jobs. But the general complaint has been that they don't have access to news, to know what is going on daily, or programs that could actually appeal to them. So, but with the presence of CBA in the media scene, it has actually bridged that gap. You know, people can now watch CBA and get authentic news of what is going on in Somaliland and even outside Somaliland. So it has created a platform whereby you can obtain news, watch entertainment on television. Television used to be boring for some of us who do not hear Somali, because our radio stations, it has always been Somali. Now, with the English language coming in, CBA has noticed that there is a vacuum or a lacuna that needs to be filled, and CBA has actually filled that position. So it makes them outstanding and unique, and that is why we recognize them as the best TV station of the year.
Abubakar, who acknowledged compelling content, appearance and good programs as hallmark of any standard media house, said digitization has changed the media game, and so media houses too must follow the trend to stand the test of time. He added that aside from reaching international communities, CBATV has been able to prove its worth in the digital broadcasting landscape, viewable on cable network, social media platforms and live streaming of events as it unfolds. He however challenged CBATV team to do more in serving people and charged other media houses to follow suit. And now to Djibouti. Prime Minister Imran Khan met President of National Assembly of Republic of Djibouti and reaffirms engagement in Engage Africa policy. President National Assembly of Republic of Djibouti, Mohammed Ali Hamid, accompanied by a parliamentary delegation, called on Prime Minister Imran Khan.
President of the National Assembly of the Republic of Djibouti, Mohammed Ali Hamid, accompanied by a parliamentary delegation, called on Prime Minister Imran Khan. The Prime Minister warmly welcomed the visiting delegation and noted that the bonds of common faith and values, as well as the convergence of views on regional and international matters, bind the two brotherly nations. The Pakistani Prime Minister underlined the salience of Pakistan's Engage Africa policy, which aims at forging closer ties with the continent by expanding Pakistan's diplomatic footprint and deepening economic engagement. The Prime Minister further underlined that Pakistan would soon be establishing its resident diplomatic mission in Djibouti. Both sides affirmed that the shared desire to broaden bilateral cooperation in diverse fields. The Prime Minister and the visiting delegation also exchanged views on the importance of peace and security in the neighbouring regional context of both Pakistan and Djibouti. President of the National Assembly appreciated Pakistan's historical support and expressed the hope that the visit of the parliamentary delegation would help in further consolidating Djibouti-Pakistani relations. The chairman of the Senate, Mr. Sadiq Sanjrani, was also present during the meeting.
Moving now to Ethiopia. Ethiopia's state-appointed Human Rights Commission said on Friday that security forces killed at least 76 people and wounded nearly 200 during violent unrest in June and July that followed the killing of a popular singer.
Ethiopian security forces killed at least 76 people in violent unrest after a musician's killing. Ethiopia's state-appointed Human Rights Commission said on Friday that security forces had killed at least 76 people and wounded nearly 200 during a violent unrest in June and July that followed the killing of a popular singer. The commission also detailed brutality by civilians involved in the clashes, saying that some attackers beheaded and tortured people after dragging them from their homes and using ethnic slurs. The widespread and systematic attack on civilians by attackers constituted crimes against humanity, the commission said. Its report on the violence, some of the worst in Ethiopia since Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed took office in 2018, said a total of 123 people were killed and at least 500 were injured. Mr. Abiy's spokeswoman did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the report. Ethnic violence has surged in many parts of Ethiopia, Africa's second most populous country, since Mr. Abiy took office and lifted the lid on the long repressed tensions between more than 80 ethnic groups. Mr. Abiy has urged national unity, but powerful ethnic-based movements are opposed to this. The summer violence began amid protests triggered by the killing of Hakalu Hundessa, a popular singer from the Oromo ethnic group, the country's largest. Oromos, including Mr. Hakalu himself, were a strong force in the anti-government protests that piled pressure on the former ruling coalition and eventually led to Mr. Abiy being selected as the Prime Minister in 2018. The street protests after the singer's death spread from the capital Addis Ababa to the surrounding Oromia region. The Commission's report found that the attackers, moving in groups and armed with knives, stones, flammables, electric cables, axes and machetes, beat, injured and killed people in a gruesome manner, including through torture and beheading. In October, Ethiopia's Attorney General charged 4 suspects with terrorism in connection with the killing of the singer. The Rights Commission, the proportionality of the force employed in some parts of the response by security forces to the unrests was highly questionable. The violence in June and July was not related to a conflict since November between federal forces and a rebellious force in the northern Tigray region that is believed to have killed thousands and displaced around 950,000 people.
And now to Egypt. Egypt signed 9 oil and gas exploration deals worth $1 billion with local and international energy companies, the country's petroleum minister said in a statement. The award allows the companies to conduct exploration along the eastern and western Mediterranean as well as the Red Sea.
6 large oil and gas companies will drill 17 wells to explore for oil and gas finds, Tariq Al-Molla said on late Friday. Egypt seeks luring new international investments in gas and oil exploration and concluding deals with big companies as a priority. The latest deals include exploration agreements with international majors such as ExxonMobil, Chevron, BP, Total and Shell. In September, Italy's Eni said it had discovered a gas field in the waters of Nile Delta, offshore Egypt. The discovery is located in the Great Norris area located in the Abu Mahdi development lease, was confirmed after Eni drilled an exploratory well in the concession area. Evolution of results from the testing well as well as the associated reservoir and recent discoveries in the area indicate that Great Norris area is estimated to hold up to 4 trillion cubic feet of gas. Egypt, the Arab world's most populous state, has benefited massively from the discovery of the Zohar field throughout Eni in 2016 in the eastern Mediterranean. The find sparked search for more hydrocarbon resources along the Nile Delta and Western Desert as North Africa country look to leverage these discoveries to become a net exporter of gas, particularly to markets in Europe. Last year, Egypt awarded US oil major Chevron, Anglo-Dutch Shell, and Abu Dhabi Mubadala rights to explore for oil and gas in the Red Sea as it expands its search for new hydrocarbon reserves. After it awarded exploration licenses to concessions in the western and eastern desert regions, the Nile Delta and the Gulf of Suez, Egypt said it intends to launch another round that includes blocks in the Red Sea. The Red Sea has become a hotspot for exploration, with Saudi Arabia, the world's largest exporter of oil, also looking to explore reserves in the territorial water. In 2019, the kingdom announced the discovery of large quantities of gas in the Red Sea. Saudi Arabia plans to conduct an investment study on the scheme and intensify exploration over the next 2 years.
Now to South Africa. Health Minister Zweli Mkhize said at the start of 2020, South Africa has recorded 16,726 new cases of COVID-19 and 418 more COVID-19 related deaths, warning that the caseload may also rise in January if people fail to comply to the measurements.
New Year's Day sees 16,726 new cases of COVID-19 and 418 more deaths in South Africa. The Health Minister, Zweli Mkhize, said at the start of 2021, South Africa has recorded 16,726 new cases of the COVID-19 and 418 more COVID-related deaths, warning that the caseload may also rise in January if people fail to comply to the measurements. The cumulative number of COVID-19 cases in South Africa is now up to 1,073,887, and the total detected deaths has reached 28,887. The Eastern Cape has reported 66 COVID-related deaths on Friday. There were 8 in the Free State, 66 in Gauteng, 134 in KwaZulu-Natal, and 6 in Mpumalanga, while the Western Cape recorded 138 deaths. The cumulative total of tests done to date is 6,659,318, with 50,000 tests concluded in the past 24 hours. Mkhize said that the 16,726 new cases represent a positivity rate of 33.4%. The total recoveries are at 887,701, representing a recovery rate of 82.6%. South Africa currently has the 17th most confirmed corona cases in the world. According to Johns Hopkins University real-time tally, the United States has now recorded more than 20 million cases of COVID-19.
And we, at the same time, need to save every bed in our health facilities.
The US has so far registered 20 million cases and 346,000 deaths in the pandemic, the Baltimore-based university said, making it the country with by far the highest official number of cases and the highest death toll. The United Kingdom has recorded more than 50,000 new daily cases of the virus for the past 4 days. Both Britain and South Africa are currently facing a second wave in COVID-19 cases as new variants of the coronavirus has been discovered in both countries.
Moving on to West Africa, Malian authorities has charged 6 prominent figures, including a former prime minister, with seeking to mount a coup, a move that came after a military takeover in August, the lawyers said. The Public Prosecutor's Office in the capital Bamako said in a statement that 6 people were under investigation for plotting against the government criminal association, insulting the head of state and complicity. A group of lawyers defending the 6 said the individuals will include Bobo Cisse, the prime minister at the time President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita's government was overthrown in August, had been charged with an attempt coup. All of those charged are civilian figures with no established connection to anyone in the military, they said. 5 of the 6 have been detained in custody, except for Cisse, whose whereabouts are unknown, the public prosecutor said. Details about the affair are sketchy, but it comes at a time of turbulence following the ouster of Mali's elected president Ibrahim Boubacar Keita by young army officers on August 18. Threatened by international sanctions, the junta named an interim government which is supposed to last for up to 18 months until elections are held. But disenchantment at the slow pace of reforms is growing, fueled by accusation that figures with army links dominate the transitional body. In its statement, the prosecutor's office did not use the term attempted coup as the attorneys did. It alleged that there had been deeds that armed domestic security and serious evidence of a criminal enterprise and actions to sabotage initiatives taken by transitional authorities. On Monday, security sources said a number of people had been detained on December 21, while the prosecutor's office said a preliminary inquiry had been opened relating to violations of state security. In the run-up to their arrest, social media said that there had been a scheme to destabilize Mali's post-coup transitional institution. Apart from Cisse, those charged include his half-brother, Agubo Tor, who runs an agency connected with telecommunications, and Mohamed Yusuf Batili, a campaigner and radio presenter who is popular among young Malians and whose stage name is Rasbath. The others are Vital Robert Diop, director of Mali's Paris Mutual Urban (PMI), an agency that is in charge of gambling on horse races, and 2 senior financial officials, Mamadou Koun and Souleymane Kanseye. Mali, an impoverished, landlocked country in the heart of the Sahel, is notoriously volatile. The August 18 coup was the 4th since the nation gained independence from France in 1960. It came after weeks of escalating protests against Keita, who had become unpopular over perceived corruption and failures to roll back a militant insurgency that has claimed thousands of lives since 2012 and forced hundreds to flee their homes. From the world of sports, Abdulaziz Guled has updates of what actually happened in the world of sports.
5 Manchester City players are unable for their Premier League match on Chelsea on Sunday following positive test results. Kyle Walker, Gabriel Jesus and 3 unnamed players are in isolation. I don't think the Premier League will allow us to name the players, but you will know on Sunday, said Guardiola. City's game at Everton on 28 December was called off following positive tests, but the rest of the first team bubble has since tested negative. Guardiola said City had enough players to play at Goodison Park, but the match was postponed because of test results returned early the same day. West Ham manager David Moyes said winning at Everton for the first time since he left the club was special. Thomas Tuchel's late goal gave West Ham a 1-0 Premier League victory at Goodison Park. Always going back to your old club is special, said Moyes, who had lost on his previous 4 visits to Everton following his departure in 2013 after 11 years in charge. I had a brilliant time there, great years, but I want to do it again at West Ham, and that means going and winning at other clubs. Aaron Creswell's shot deflected off defender Yeremina into the path of Suke, who tapped home in the 85th minute of a largely uneventful game. Everton, who had won their previous 4 games, missed out on climbing second in the table.
With our sport report, we've come to the end of the news which came to you from the studio of CBATV, the voice of East Africa and beyond. My name is Ajara Ahmed Tijani. Always be careful. Bye for now.